Live in downtown Detroit, Local 4 live stream with Jason Carr starts now.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Am I up to carrying this?
Yes.
The things that are said right before we go.
It's been a busy morning.
Happy Wednesday to you all out there in Local 4 Nation. Glad you're with us here on the 9:15-ish, the Jason Carr Experiment, the live cast, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of action. People walking behind me to and fro. They're painting our new set around the bend here. So we are looking forward to showing that off to you at some future date. And John Edward Steckroth, assisted by Jacob, over behind the controls. I see a lot of furious keyboard tapping going on. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're okay. Just a busy morning, a lot happening, and still working on a couple of the graphics as we're doing the show.
So this is like a real-time extrapolation of whatever vision that we have concocted for today.
Yes.
Let's start with the thermostat.
The thermostat. I got a picture of an old thermostat there. I don't think they make them that way anymore.
Where did you come up with a picture of the old Honeywell with the metal dong? It actually
great?
trips a mechanism.
I'm sure we've got one around here somewhere.
Don't you have a newer thermostat than that?
Yes. So this is the
here we go.
the
This is the newer thermostat we're talking about, live on the web right now, and I'm glad to see we have at least this to go along with the directions here. A Michigan family setting rules. Autumn Brandon of Clarkston posted the photo to Facebook. The photo has been shared more than 2,000 times. So 66 apparently is the hottest that it gets in the Brandon household of Clarkston, Michigan.
And the rules read, unless you answer yes to all of these, do not turn on the heat. Are you wearing a hoodie, pants, socks? Is it November? Do you pay the gas bill? And, that's...
Have you ever resorted to something like this? You're watching, hey, did we just pop up in your news feed? Don't go anywhere. What did your dad do, or your grandfather? You go to their house back in the old days, back in the day, and you tried to turn up that thermostat, sneak it up there a little bit, and then, hey, who turned up the thermostat?
They know, they've got the hearing. They can, from the other side of the room.
Yeah. Chuck, get your blankety-blank paws off my thermostat.
You're not paying the bills.
That's right. I pay the heating bill and the electrical bill at our house, and I think because I was raised in that sort of environment of get your grubby hands off the thermostat, I'm actually the opposite. If my wife and daughter want it up to 68 or 70 or whatever, I'll crank it up.
When my wife was pregnant with the first baby, it was 58 degrees.
Chuck says he had it at 58 while his wife was pregnant with the first baby. Chuck!
It was cold.
It was cold. All right. Ronald McDonald, a cold reception for clowns right now. Ronald, long under attack for marketing fast food, unhealthy food to kids. I think at one point more kids could identify him more so than either the president or Jesus. I think were the two other. Like he was more recognizable than either of those two.
And they had a whole gang together there. The
the
Burglar,
McDonald Land gang.
And,
sure.
and
Grimace and Mayor McCheese and Big Mac and Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar,
and
yeah.
Fry Guys, Birdie.
Yeah.
See how I'm 46, and notice how I rolled all those off the top of my head, because when I was coming up in the 70s, you could not get away from Ronald McDonald and all the characters. Anyway, the clown scare epidemic has Ronald laying low.
Oh.
He's not hanging off the back of D-Dot buses.
Clown.
He is presumably working on ways to make McDonald's more relevant in these times that we live in now, where it seems like fast casual has ruled the landscape now. People are, even Taco Bell, as we covered on a prior 9:15-ish, has gone healthy on the down low. So McDonald's is...
They're all transitioning to something. On the subject of clowns, I just finished putting together a story.
Oh, here comes the plug.
Well, we had documents that were unsealed. The man accused of the Metro Detroit clown crime spree that followed into Ohio, he appeared in federal court yesterday, and new details were unveiled in this criminal complaint that was unsealed. So
Yes.
I've got a whole story put together on Click On. If you've got time, you should take
Do you have a
quick
graphic
look at
for
it.
that, or just telling people to go to click on for
Well,
it?
no, just that.
Next, please, sir, John Steckroth. Oh,
Talking
Little
about
Caesars.
Little Caesars.
This is breaking pizza news.
Well, this is National Pizza Month.
It is National Pizza
We've
Month.
had a
That's why
lot
we're
of
talking
pizza.
about this on the morning show here on Local 4. You can watch us early morning, before today comes on. It's Pizza Month, and every day we've been having a different za to end the show at 6:55 a.m. Little Caesars is yet to come, but take a look at this. Take a look at this.
That time we got it. Okay.
It is brisket pizza. You can only get it down south right now, and the people that are eating it say they're swearing by it. They say it's awesome.
Wow.
No, come on. It is not. I know it doesn't look that great, but I've already thrown down the gauntlet to Little Caesars. Hey, what's the big idea? How come we don't have this up here? John, what do you think? We've already talked about this with TV's Ken this morning.
I'm always down to try a new type of pizza. What did we have yesterday? We had something from.
Oh, we had,
Pie-Sai?
yeah.
No, that was.
The science experiment pizza place.
And that was really good. That
Pie-Sai, right?
Yeah. I had one that day with feta cheese and Brussels sprouts and something. Oh, but
Not as good as the one that I had.
Which one did you have?
Here we are talking about Little Caesars, and we've
I know,
morphed
we
into talking about
transitioned to a different
yesterday's
one.
pizza guest. But anyway, can we see the brisket pizza again, please?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what do you think? How does it look? Would you want to try it? Are you mad that they're showing it, or selling it down south but not here? Little Caesars needs to get on the ball and offer it to, we are Little Caesarsville, right? We're central.
I'm down to try it. Again, if they bring it to Michigan, I'm not going to make a trip to the south just for this, but
Amazon. We'll soon have physical stores for shoppers to buy food as the company expands its reach into the grocery business. Using phones or touch screens, shoppers will be able to buy perishable items, including milk and meats, in stores or at drive-through locations. Amazon Fresh.
Well, I think
They're
the idea
expanding
is if you get enough people comfortable with getting their groceries from Amazon Fresh, then sooner or later they could get rid of the actual stores and start just delivering this stuff. But you need to get consumers used to the idea of buying groceries from Amazon, which I don't think they're ready for yet.
Jacob, what do you say? He's 10 feet away from me, facing the other direction.
I know. I can't wait for the new set.
The new
said we've got to wait for consumers to be comfortable with buying groceries from Amazon.
All
So
right.
the idea is to have actual locations.
Well, Meijer is doing this.
They're also delivering.
Meijer, Michigan-based Meijer. You don't have to go to Amazon for this. You can get this from Meijer. And what is their partner company? It's got a funny spelling. It's like the Shifter Delivery, or they're like missing a letter. I can't think of it. Somebody help me out in Local 4 Nation. Post it if you know who Meijer's delivery partner is. In the meantime,
We're still talking about grocery stores.
a man from Florida is moving to Detroit soon and was looking for a grocery store suggestion from Reddit. Reddit.com, the front page of the internet.
Oh yeah.
He asked, if you live downtown, how do you acquire your weekly groceries? Do you go to Eastern Market, drive out to the burbs? Luckily, Detroit was ready to give him 16 different suggestions. This comes to us from our friends at Deadline Detroit. We saw this compendium there, though they also took it from Reddit, but in perusing the web, we found it there. And the suggestions via Reddit are as follows: Honeybee Market, City Market, Lafayette Foods, Indian Village Market, Meijer, Aldi. What would you suggest? Are there some neighborhood grocers, supermarkets that if you live in Detroit that you frequent, that you would give a shout out to here on the comments or in the comments?
The Honeybee Market is just around the corner from me.
Yeah, and how
I
is
go there
that?
occasionally. That's a nice grocery store.
You know what we have here at Local 4? The Avante Market.
Oh yeah, so many options up there.
I think the Avante Market is awesome.
You like it?
Listen, the last place I worked, we joked about the carousel of death. You put the money in and push the button and it would go around. The
that
White
bad?
Castle
Yeah.
cheeseburgers were good that came out of the carousel, but It wasn't like walking into a small little market grocery store sort of setting where you self-serve with the scanning and the credit card and the whole. I mean, that we have a pretty sweet setup here. Honestly, not to bag on the other place because we got a lot of comic mileage out of the carousel of death, but the Avanti market here at
We've got it good.
DIV,
I
we've
don't
got
even
it.
know how
we've got
good we have it.
We don't have a commissary, but we do have a miniature grocery store, plus 2 really clean microwaves, which is saying something at a TV station. Here's something incredible. Samsung recalled the phones without being able to figure out why they were melting down, blowing up, going up in flames. They stopped, I said recall, they stopped making the phone completely without figuring out why the problem was happening.
It's worrisome because you wonder if this battery technology is going to bleed over into their other products, and it's maybe a problem with all of the phones. And that's what they're worried about, is if they weren't able to diagnose the problem, it could be a systemic one throughout all their products. And this is dangerous. I mean, you've got something in your pocket that could potentially explode.
Do you have a Samsung Note 7? Are you worried about it? Have you had it overheat on you or anything? What's wrong with it? Let us know. We're always open in the comments. Was that the hotline?
That was engineering. I've got a live stream starting in Dearborn Heights, but we're not going to take it for a little while.
We have a different live stream coming up?
It's nothing that we need to worry about.
So Commissioner Gordon you dealt with it?
It's fine. I dealt with it.
Trump refund. At least 2 major GOP donors who helped raise or personally gave tens of thousands of dollars to Donald Trump's presidential campaign have asked for their money back. NBC News obtained emails and interviewed at least one of the donors who said they are upset about the video. In power emails the donors wrote, they specifically pointed out they don't want their children associated with Trump. I have 3 young children and will not support a crude, sexist man. I expect a refund of my donation. Wow.
Can you ask for a refund on a donation?
It's a donation,
it's a
right?
donation.
You've donated it to a
cause.
away.
That's it. Why would you can't get it back?
That's a good, excellent question.
If I were Donald
I see
Trump,
why
I
you
wouldn't
carry
give it
the
back.
show most days.
I'm never going to live that down.
I'll be your laughing track.
yeah, thanks for the laugh track, Chuck. That is an excellent question, though, jokes aside. The Kim Kardashian costume. No, there's Kim K.
Yeah.
As if you didn't know, you couldn't have conjured a mental image of her because she's ubiquitous, but there she is. And a costume place, Costumish, kind of like the 915-ish.
Yeah.
Costumish had started selling a burglary, robbery.
What did they call it? They called it the Parisian Heist Robbery Victim Costume Kit. Of course.
But they've pulled it.
They've pulled it. I mean, for $70, who's going to buy a bathrobe and, I guess, tie their hands up with rope?
6 people bought it.
Apparently 6 people bought it, Jacob says. So it did sell. I don't... There's always scandal
You can
around the
improvise
costumes.
this. You don't need to... This is the height... I'm sorry if you're one of the 6 people that bought this, but it's the height of laziness if you bought this as opposed to just making it yourself. Because you could.
It'd be that easy.
It'd be
I don't
that
have a
easy.
white
I mean-
bathroom, but you just stay at a hotel, you take it with you.
Anyway, moving on. $70 a piece?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can get a nice bathrobe for that.
Okay, this I love this one. We found this on Twitter. There's a family, and she says, one of the family members, I'm not sure about her Twitter handle, so I guess Emil. Let's see the photos. Do we have it?
Oh yeah, this is Willy
This
Wonka
is one
and the Chocolate
family. They
Factory.
do this every.
Fantastic. They're trophies. I don't know.
Strongman in the
okay, this is a
circus,
circus.
Oh, I love how the whole thing is built around the kid as Big Boy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Incidentally, those who follow me, they know I'm a huge fan of Big Boy. Like going to Big Boy and getting the original double-decker with extra sauce and fries. I've now instilled that in my daughter, my 5.5-year-old Gianna. She says, "Let's go to Big Boy." She loves the fries with the seasoned salt.
Oh yeah. I haven't been there in a while.
pancakes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You haven't been to Big Boy for a while?
It's been a minute, yeah.
Well, what's a minute?
I think last summer I was on a road trip and I stopped at a Big Boy.
There is nothing like a Big Boy with extra sauce. If I could, anyway, I digress. Take two things, Beatles and Legos. Beloved, maybe not in equal measure, but certainly iconic in and of their own right? Mm-hmm. Beatles, arguably most famous, most popular band ever. Legos, most popular interlocking.
Probably one of the most popular toys in the world. I'm imagining you could find Legos anywhere.
So together they make the Yellow Submarine.
I might go buy this. This is so cool.
When I sent this to you, I found this online upstairs, perusing the interwebs this morning. When I sent this to you, what was your reaction?
The first thing I thought was like, I need to get this.
I must get this. I must
have
acquire this. I think that's how I felt when I saw the Lego Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. I remember seeing they made a Lego Simpsons home, and it was really complicated and so many pieces, but that was way too expensive. Legos are expensive in and of themselves, but this is a small piece. I could afford this.
Bless you. Yeah. So where can you get this?
At the Lego store? I'm not sure. Yeah, probably up at Great Lakes Crossing, maybe, at the Lego store there.
You sounded like Brick Tamblyn from Anchorman when you said that. At the Lego store?
At the pants store?
Where did you get those suits? At the toilet store? All right. Well, I have to go get ready for Live in the D with Chuck and Tati coming up at the top of the hour on Local 4. This concludeth the Hump Day edition of the 9:15-ish, the Jason Carr Experiment, the JCE, the live cast. Soon to have a new home on the other side of the digital pod.
Coming up, we don't know when. Stay classy, Detroit.